Hello, St. Ambrose parents. I am coming to you today with an idea that Bree, our youth minister, and I have been brainstorming about Lent. And I wanted to challenge you to think about just your relationship with your phone and your relationship with technology in your family right now. And is it where you want it to be? Is it something that you feel like is completely in line and balanced and managed well? Or are you like me and you think we could do a little bit better in the hand house, we could do better with our use of technology? And truly myself, when I just examined my own use of technology and kind of what my phone takes me away from, kind of the distractibility that I have around the use of my phone. And so we're challenging our students and our parents and families to pick something to do with technology that you think you might want to limit or maybe even delete for the time of Lent, when we're really called to hopefully find ways to be closer to God. Christ was in the desert and kind of feeling that physical feeling of deprivation of water and food and desolation. But with our lives right now, I think some of our desolation comes from just the noise that surrounds the world, whether it be, news headlines on Twitter or TikTok videos, or for me, online Scrabble, which is a problem. My kids joke that they ask me for things when I am on my phone because I will say yes because I am not paying attention. If that's not telling, my kids obviously are older than most of yours. So I'm just putting it out there as a challenge to kind of identify something and hopefully culturally make a commitment in your family of something that you want to improve, whether it be instead of watching Netflix together, playing a game together, or finding other conversation topics around the table other than showing each other funny memes or videos. I think, again, every family has its own areas that maybe are getting in the way or distracting us from our prayer, from just being together and being present with one another, or that place of really listening to God and what is it in our lives that we could improve on and do better and become closer to hopefully what we are called to do. So we are going to talk to the students, especially in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, about identifying something in technology that they might be willing to look at and limit, even encouraging accountability partners. And then we're going to send some videos to you on Fridays to hopefully encourage you to take part and have a little bit of accountability in that as well. And so again, this is an invitation to get you to start thinking, maybe paying attention this weekend to how technology is part of your household, and is it something that feeds your household to good things, or is it getting in the way of anything of kind of your intentional hopes and dreams for your family to truly be connected and again, open to kind of what we are called to be. So stay tuned for more information, and good luck thinking about what it might be that you could limit. And I will try to get some really good Scrabble scores this weekend before I let go of my app for 40 days. Have a great weekend, St. Ambrose.
Hi, St. Ambrose families. My name is Bree. For those of you who don't know me, I am the middle school youth minister. And so yesterday we issued a challenge to your 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students. And this challenge for me was really born out of prayer. As I was, just considering and thinking and praying about what the Lord desired for me to do for Lent, to fast from, to enter into, how I was to walk into the desert with him, recognizing my own struggle with, and I'm am usually fairly confident that I'm a pretty healthy person with good boundaries, but my own struggle with social media and screen time and just spending time doing things that are not adding a ton of value to my life. So one of the things that we told your middle schoolers yesterday is that this is not a them problem, right? And Betsy reiterated that in her video for this, but this is not a middle school problem. This is not a teenage problem. This is a problem in our world right now. And I have recognized it in my own life. And so I just reiterated that to them over and over again and plan to throughout Lent that this is not a them problem. And this is a whole community challenge. We all want to enter into this together where we are walking into the desert with Jesus and being a little bit uncomfortable in the quiet that we experience in the desert. So for me, I told all the middle schoolers they're each going to be encouraged to have one accountability partner. I'm going to have 100 because I told them all this yesterday. I'm going to give up Instagram for Lent because it's something that I know that I love, and your students know me and they know that I love it. But I also know that it's something that can really pull me away from the Lord and pull me away from prayer, and just at its best is a distraction and a time waster, but at its worst, it can be really destructive to self-worth, really destructive to my own idea of myself and of reality and of who the Lord desires me to be. It's not that all the time. And that's something that we're reiterating with your students all the time as well, is that technology is not evil. I mean, you're watching this video right now and I couldn't communicate with you if you weren't. Technology is not evil. Social media is not evil. And that's why we're not asking them, as I told them yesterday, to go throw their phone in a lake. We're not asking that of them. We're not asking them to give up everything they know for 40 days. We're asking them to take one step back from one thing, challenging them really to walk with us in that. And so we're challenging you as well to encourage them first and foremost, but also to encourage them by taking that step yourself. What's one step you can take? What's one step you can take for your family to walk into the desert with Jesus in a way that's uncomfortable, in a way that is maybe not fun all the time. I was talking to one of the 8th graders yesterday, and it's going to be hard for the first week. We decided together it's going to be really hard for the first week, then it'll be okay for a little while, then it's going to get really hard again. But that's how we break habits. That's how we recognize the extra things in our life that maybe they aren't bad in and of themselves, but they can pull us away from the Lord. And if He is not our first priority, if He is not our center, if everything we do doesn't flow from Him and His heart, then what are we doing? Nothing else makes sense if it doesn't flow from Him. And so there's a way to do it in a responsible way and in moderation. And so we're not asking them to give it up forever. We're not asking them to give up everything, but to walk into the desert with Jesus in one little way this Lent. And so we're challenging you to do that as well. And we're doing it too. And Father Peter and Father Ben are on board, and they're talking about what are we going to do? What's the one thing that we're going to step back from? And so just know that this is a whole community endeavor that we just want to invite you to as a way to grow, as a way to insert ourselves into this desert, sit a little bit uncomfortably with the Lord this Lent. So I'm praying for you. We're all praying for you and your families. And we'd love to hear your glory stories, just any success stories that you have in these first couple of weeks as you're considering this as a family over the next week or in the first couple of weeks of Lent. Let us know how it's going. Maybe it's just like, Bree, this is really hard, or maybe it's, this has been so good for our family. Let me tell you about this thing that we did. We'd love to hear those things. So please let us know. Know that we're praying for you. God bless.